friends.
We can be friends. I haven't seen you yet, but I love the sound of your voice. Just going back to that little bit of Tolkien overacting in his reading of a little bit of The Hobbit, I got the impression that he would not have been averse to the idea of these stories written down by him being dramatised in some way. And after all, he sold the rights for the film to be made, albeit to pay off his tax. But and that there are elder members of the Tolkien estate, the clan, who think that somehow there's a purity in the books which we are disturbing by making them into films. But the younger members of the family don't feel that. And I suspect Tolkien would have been in favour of it. And I put that to his granddaughter recently, and she said, oh, he'd have loved it. He used to be an amateur actor. So I think he would have been very interested, and perhaps he would have got involved in writing the scripts, who knows. But it has been the fate of many great novelists to have their works put onto the screen, whether it's Jane Eyre, or Charles Dickens, and John le Carré, and plays too. I mean, Shakespeare put on screen. But I think the defence is always that Shakespeare's plays remain to be done on the stage, and Jane Austen and Charles Dickens and J.R.R. Tolkien can still be read, and are read. I mean, I was coming through an airport the other day, and The Hobbit was #1 in the bestsellers, so that shows that the films are bringing people back to the books.
There's a very persistent hand here in the front row, I think you probably get mine.
In a duel, do you think you could beat Voldemort as Gandalf the Grey?
That's the question we've all been asking.
I don't know who Voldemort is, frankly. But I'm sure Gandalf could see him off. He may not. He doesn't have that many magical powers, and Gandalf's powers only really work when he needs them to work. In other words, he puts into his. It's his spirit that informs his innate magic, and I think Gandalf's spirit is superior to any other wizard that I've come across, and I think that's what would make him defeat anybody in those wretched Potter movies, or even see Magneto off, actually.
I think we will have to leave it there, but I think I'll have to leave it with The Hobbit. I'm afraid, I mean, unless we have time for one more question, I'm having a good suggestion. Shall we? One more question, and the question maybe from the back, because people from the back haven't been represented quite so far.
Have we got those things of mine, Jennifer? Just get rid of them.
Oh my God. Peter Jackson's a big fan of...
Speak up.
Peter Jackson's a big fan of the high frame rate technology. I was just wondering what you think of it and whether you can see a big difference.
Well, I've seen the movie now twice, and the question was about the 48 frames per second, which is a sort of projection which is closer to how the human eye normally functions. The human eye functions apparently at 60 frames per second. We're used to 24 frames per second, and Peter Jackson is pioneering now something halfway between the two. My eyes are rather old. I've seen the film twice. I couldn't tell any difference. It all looked as magical to me as the first movie. What I adored was the 3D, and that's what I think you're going to see now. And his use of 3D is so subtle and so dramatic, and so it seems at times necessary that you think this is the way all films must be done in the future. Personally, 48 frames per second, I can leave it or take it, and I think you're not going to see it 48 frames per second. But before we go, I just want to say, because I'm in a fundraising mood, and after this screening, you can have your photograph taken in the mezzanine. Now, that's not much fun, is it? But let me show you what you can be photographed with. You can be photographed wearing the hat. This is the hat I wore. Try on. Umbra.
I'm the model there. So there we are. You too can wear the hat.
Here's the Gandalf's staff. Ooh. Where's my friend over there?
And now you've seen each other. Perfect.
So if you want your photograph taken with the staff, and I've also got glamoring, there it is. So, it would make a perfect Christmas card, or even a Christmas present for your grandparents. And I just hope you enjoy the movie half as much as we enjoyed making, and thanks very much for coming tonight.